Welcome to Self-Care Tips. I am Irene Joroge. Did you know that the colors you wear can affect others physically, psychologically, and aesthetically? And do you realize that you can use colors to your advantage as you rise up the corporate ladder of success? Stand by and listen as we discuss the issue of color psychology. One of the most powerful colors you can wear is red. You can wear it to gain the command of your audience, especially when you're giving a presentation. It gives you a boost of energy and will definitely get you noticed. However, red can be overwhelming and you might want to be on the safe side and use it as an accessory or as part of your wardrobe. Red is good for power. Pink is a color that is considered feminine, soft, and non-threatening. It is a color you wear when you want to seem approachable. It is, however, not management material. It is not the color to wear when you're discussing a promotion with your bosses. However, pink is a very good social color and you want to wear it when you want to improve your social life. Brown is a color that is homely, earthly, and safe. It projects security. And it also works very well as a business color for suits, even accessories. One thing about brown is that it's very suitable for use in the office, especially in the richer shades. One secret about brown is that it's a color you can wear when you want people to open up to you. If you're an investigative journalist or even a counselor, wear brown and you'll find that people will talk to you a lot.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hii ya Bwana Atamaliza Nawe, bonyeza star 811 star 962 hash.
Huenda ulianza pekeo, huenda ulipanga pekeo, huenda ulisafiri pekeo, huenda ulijenga pekeo. Usikubali tena kusonga peke yako. Zaburi 127:1 inasema, Bwana asipoujenga mji wa ujengao wanafanya kazi bure. Bwana asipoulinda mji wa ulindao.
Ili kupata sikiza tune hiyo ya Bwana Atamaliza Nawe, bonyeza star 811 star 962 hash. Star 811 star 962 hash.
The KBC Board of Directors, Management and Staff wishes all our esteemed listeners, viewers and clients Happy New Year and a prosperous 2022. We wish you peace, joy and prosperity throughout the coming year. Thank you for your continued support and partnership.
A wounded heart.
Why did you have to come back?
Lucia, I'm still in love with you. A brave heart.
I saved your father's company. You're a nobody.
I want a divorce.
An ambitious heart.
The man won't sell his land.
Just make him do it. That's what you're here for.
An innocent heart.
He can't force me to sell my land, Father.
My brother will do anything to take your land. Take care of yourself, please.
A possessive heart.
Do what you have to do to get it.
Lying.
Good evening to you. We are into the second day of the first month, the year 2022.
The country begins the year in a rather sad note. We have lost two icons. President Uhuru Kenyatta today led the country and other leaders in mourning of Kenya's independence. Attorney General Sir Charles Njonjo, and we've also received news today of the demise of conservationist Dr. Richard Leakey. We got details about this huge loss for the country, plus what leaders had to say concerning these fallen icons contained in our comprehensive news bulletin that begins right now. But first, here are the top stories. Richard Leakey is dead. Sir Charles Njonjo, Kenya's first independence Attorney General, dies at the age of 101 years. And 8 people die when a matatu rammed into a stationary truck along the Eldoret-Webuye highway. All right, we begin this broadcast straight away. My name is Serfine Achieng and our sign language interpreter tonight is Ann Wangeshi. John Jacob Kure is not with us tonight, but we also urge you to interact with us on social media at KBC Channel 1. Use the hashtag Sunday Express. Now on to our top story. Former Attorney General Charles Njonjo was cremated at the Kariokor crematorium on Sunday, just hours after his death. Njonjo died Sunday morning at his home, aged 101 years. Sir Njonjo has been hailed as a knowledgeable, blunt and dedicated advocate who stood firm for what he believed in. He succumbed to pneumonia at his Muthaiga home earlier today.
Sunday morning at the Kariokor crematorium in Nairobi. Family of the late Charles Njonjo arrived here for his cremation according to his wishes. Njonjo died on Sunday at 5 a.m. at his home in Muthaiga, aged 101 years after suffering from pneumonia.
Mr. Njonjo had been unwell for quite a while. Over the course of last year and this year, he'd been battling, one ailment or another. Very, very well, despite his age. But as of this morning at around 5:15 a.m., he breathed his last. And it was actually as a result of a little bout of pneumonia, which he had suffered, and therefore had compromised his lungs.
According to his family, his wish was that he be cremated almost immediately after his death.
So he was a man who was very clear about instructions, and a man who was very clear about what he wanted, not just in life, but what he wanted in death as well. And part of those instructions were that we must perform a cremation immediately, almost immediately after his passing. He didn't want any fanfare. He didn't want a lot of ceremony. He didn't want a lot of what goes with funerals and passing of people of his stature.
His death has been termed as a big blow not just to his family, but the country and the continent at large. His allies have hailed Njonjo as a committed civil servant and a family man who was diligent. He was nicknamed the Duke of Cabetshire owing to his English mannerism, having studied in the United Kingdom. He leaves behind 3 children.
As the curtains fall on the life of the late Charles Njonjo, he will be remembered for the role he played in building this nation, especially on matters constitution and legal affairs. Nancy Okwari, Prime Edition from Kariokor Crematorium, Nairobi County.
Thank you, Kware, for that report. Now, moving on, one of the late Charles Njonjo's lowest moments in life was when he was accused of plotting to kill the then President Daniel Arap Moi. He stood trial for 1 year before he was set free. His lawyer, Paul Mwite, read a sinister motive in the accusations against Njonjo. A veteran journalist, Iman Omari, also gives his reflections of the Njonjo trial.
The law does not see, the law has no hands. But now, those who practice law here.
Born January 23, 1920, Charles Mugane Njonjo was the son of the late Josiah Njonjo, a paramount chief and one of the foremost collaborators of British colonial rule in Kenya. After completing his secondary education at Alliance High School in Kikuyu, Njonjo enrolled at Fort Hare University in South Africa, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree in English and South African law. He graduated in 1946 and returned to Kenya, but had the burning ambition to study law and be called to the bar. In 1947, Njonjo moved to England to study public administration at the University College of Southwest of England through a scholarship by the colonial administration. Njonjo completed his studies in 1949, but rather returning to Kenya, he began studying law with the view of being called to the bar.
When the colonial government discovered that he was doing law, they even stopped his stipend, and he was on the streets. He actually, unlike people think about Njonjo, he did odd jobs in London to make ends meet. Fortunately, one lawyer, British lawyer, noticed him, and he took him to his bar.
However, Njonjo was eventually called to the bar in 1952, becoming the second Kenyan African barrister after Agwin Skodhek, who had been called to the bar in January 1951. It is in 1963 that Njonjo was appointed Attorney General under President Jomo Kenyatta.
Iko na waziri wa mambo ya sheria, Bwana Njonjo. Ndiye huyo.
He nipped in the bud attempts by the so-called Kiambu Mafia, who did not want Moi to succeed Kenyatta upon Kenyatta's death. And the statement he issued one-liner that it is treason to imagine, compass the death of a president.
It is true that one can never be king when the kingmaker is around. That was the long and the short of it. But I've never seen a person more loyal than Mr. Njonjo was to the late Daniel Arap Moi.
Charles Njonjo entered into parliament in April 1980 after retiring as Attorney General at the age of 60, a post which he had served for 17 years. He had considered politics for over a decade, but hesitated due to lack of a popular base.
One of his greatest achievements, which I trust writers of history will acknowledge, was how he nearly single-handedly, almost single-handedly, managed the transition from the first president, the late Jomo Kenyatta, to the second president, the late Daniel Arap Moi.
Everybody in the lobby would stand up, including ministers. That was Njonjo's power.
In June 1980, Njonjo was elected for a newly created cabinet position by Daniel Arap Moi as Minister for Home and Constitutional Affairs during an expected cabinet reshuffle. However, after the attempted coup of 1982, Moi decided to purge his party, and cabinet of figures he had established wanted him out of power. Chief among them will be Njonjo, who was dragged through a judicial inquiry which concluded that he had abused office and had tried to take over power from Moi. He was forced to resign, effectively destroying his political career.
I can make this public statement to you, which I'm making now, that there was no scintilla of truth in the allegation that Mr. Njonjo wanted to carry out a coup against the late president, Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, not a scintilla of truth in that allegation. The whole idea of stage managing this commission of inquiry was to politically get rid of Mr. Njonjo.
Among the recommendations is that Njonjo was guilty, and that one was treasonable. Another one is that he had misappropriated funds of the disabled. So Moi, on an official day, I think it was on Jamhuri Day, he went to Uhuru Park and announced he had forgiven everything in that report against Njonjo, except he must refund, I think it was 10,000. 10,000 was a lot of money at that time. The funds for the disabled, which he did.
While at the age of 51 years, Njonjo married Margaret Bryson in 1972, with whom he has 3 children, Wairimu Njonjo, Nimu Njonjo, and Josiah Njonjo. Njonjo lived a quiet private life away from cameras. Njonjo briefly stepped out in 2007 when he declared his support for Raila Odinga during the 2007 presidential election. Since then, he chose a very quiet life, only appearing occasionally on television interviews. Ben Chumba, Sunday Express.
Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta has led the country in mourning the former Attorney General Charles Mugabe Njonjo, who died early Sunday morning at the age of 101 years. President Kenyatta said the country owed a debt of gratitude to Honorable Njonjo and his generation of independence-era leaders for their selfless contribution to the laying of the solid foundation upon which the country continues to thrive. President Uhuru Kenyatta has led the country in mourning Charles Mugabe Njonjo, who died early Sunday morning at the age of 101 years. In his condolence message, the head of state termed Njonjo's death a big blow not only to his immediate family, friends and relatives, but to all Kenyans and indeed the entire African continent. The president noted that the country owes the late Njonjo and his generation of independence-era leaders a debt of gratitude for their selfless contribution to the laying of the solid foundation upon which the country continues to thrive. The president also acknowledged Njonjo's contribution to Kenya's progressive constitutional and legal regime when he served as the country's first post-independence Attorney General between 1963 and 1979 and as a Constitutional Affairs Minister between 1980 and 1983. Other leaders also joined in giving glowing tributes to the late Charles Njonjo on social media. Deputy President William Ruto described him as a knowledgeable, blunt, and dedicated advocate for the causes he believed in. ODM leader Raila Odinga said that the country has lost a towering giant who served in key roles during his life, adding that the legal fraternity greatly benefited from his input and hard work. Njonjo's lawyer Paul Mwite had a conversation with the late last week when he mentioned death in passing.
I was with him on Wednesday of the other week, and his clear wishes and instructions were that if anything happened, and he kept joking that he hopes it will happen in the morning so that by noon he will have been cremated. My condolences to Mama Wairimu, his wife, his children.
Kiambu Governor James Nyoro described him as a proud son of Kabete, who was fondly referred to as the Duke of Kabeteshire and one who served the country with distinction. Siaya Senator James Orengo noted that the country has lost a giant who is principled and strong in his beliefs and convictions. Baringo Senator Gideon Moi said Njonjo contributed immensely to this country's legal foundation. National Treasury CS Ukur Yatani prayed for grace and solace for the family to endure the loss. And still more messages of condolences continue to trickle in. Residents of Kabete in Kiambu County have eulogized the late Charles Njonjo as a man who stood firm with his word. The residents termed the late Njonjo as a firm believer of equality, whose leadership traits ought to be emulated by other leaders. According to them, the former Attorney General, who was also a Kikuyu Member of Parliament, brought tremendous development in the area. They say the country has lost a man who was among a generation of leaders who are true patriots of Kenya.
Hapana, hakuna kitu kama kusaliti. Kitu kile Jojo alikuwa anapenda ni kwamba akisema kitu usiwe ukamletea kumwambia ati aendelee kufanya ile maneno ambayo wewe mwenyewe unamsingizia hataki. So kwa hivyo sisi tulishika hiyo mambo na usuni kwa sababu hatukuona kama alitendewa vizuri sisi watu wa Kabete.
Njonjo tunaweza kumbuka na mambo mingi sana vile ameendelesha mambo yetu hapa kwetu Kabete, ameunganisha watu wa hapa, ameingiana na watu hapa kwetu Kabete na hachagui kwa mtu ama yoyote, akisikia kitu anaenda kuona watu. Mambo ile ningetaka iwe na viongozi wa sasa ni mambo vile nimesema ya kusimama imara na kuwa na msimamo kama Charles Njonjo. Akisema ile kitu ni ya haki, atokangi hapo na nasimama kama mtu mwenye hekima.
Akiwa mbunge ametushindia mazimba ya maji, ametutengenezea barabara, ametuundia hata basi za Kenya basi yeye ndio alileta hapa. Hata zile zingine zilikuwa zinaitwa Nyayo basi. DAF. Yeye ndio alitembea nayo Kikuyu yote.
And may his soul rest in peace. Now here is news of another big loss. A former head of public service, Richard Leakey, is dead. While announcing his demise, President Uhuru Kenyatta extolled Leakey as a distinguished public servant. Uhuru said the renowned Kenyan paleoanthropologist and conservationist had over the years served Kenya with distinction in several public service roles, among them Director of the National Museums of Kenya and Chairperson of the Kenya Wildlife Service Board of Directors. The President noted that besides his distinguished career in public service, Dr. Leakey is celebrated for his prominent role in Kenya's vibrant civil society, where he founded and successfully ran a number of institutions, among them the conservation organization Wildlife Direct. He was 77 years old. All right, that report takes us to our first break on Sunday Express. Don't go too far. We are coming back with much more.
kujilisha mwenyewe hata kavyo.
Usipime kiazi kwa mkono ukasema hakitakushibisha. You're a funny guy. Do you see me laughing?
Baby, tafadhali nakuomba, baby, nisaidie.
Una bahati sana. Siku wapata nyote wawili, wewe na Kate kwa kitanda kimoja.
Heart.
Why did you have to come back?
See, I'm still in love with you. A brave heart.
I saved your father's company. You're a nobody.
I want a divorce.
An ambitious heart.
The man won't sell his land.
Just make him do it. That's what you're here for.
An innocent heart.
He can't force me to sell my land, Father.
My brother will do anything to take your land. Take care of yourself, please.
A possessive heart.
Do what you have to do to get it.
Lying heart.
Fue sembrando el veneno y la ambición entre dudas.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, crossing over into the second part, 8 people died after a 14-seater matatu they were traveling in hit a stationary lorry along the Eldoret-Webuye Highway Sunday morning. The matatu was heading to Nairobi from Bungoma.
Confirming the grisly road accident, Kakamega County Police Commander Hassan Barua stated that the 2NK matatu, which was headed for Nairobi from Busia, rammed into a stationary truck at the Musembe area, killing 8 people, including the driver. Those who survived were rushed to Webuye Sub-County Hospital and other hospitals.
8 different injuries, and we are taken to different hospitals. 2 we are taken to Webuye Sub-County Hospital, whereby they were admitted, and 2 we are taken to Lumakanda Sub-County Hospital, whereby they were also treated, and 1 was referred to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret because he had a spine injury.
Ni gari ilikuwa imeharibikia kwa barabara na mimi nikashuka na life saver, nikaweka life saver, nikaweka reflector, nikishaweka ndio sasa nijue ile shida gari hiyo hitirafu imetokezea kuingia kwa cabin ama kwa hii gari ambayo unaiona hapa. Kukaa chini nifikirie ni spana gani nitachukua. My friend, mimi ni mstuko ilinitoa.
Hiyo harakati tukabeba, kuna manusura 4 wenye tuliwatoa ndani ya gari. Wanaume 2 na msichana 1 na mtoto.
Police in the area could not immediately establish the cause of the early morning crash that occurred at 5:15 a.m. along the busy Eldoret-Webuye Highway, but have since launched investigations into it. Serfine for Sunday Express.
All right, we now move on. Attention is high in parts of Githiga Ward in Laikipia West constituency over resumption of bandit attacks. It is reported that there was a kidnap attempt of a middle-aged woman in the area who was later rescued by security officers. And as Kamche Menza now tells us, the incident comes barely weeks after bandit attacks in several homes in the area were reported.
At Village 18 in Githiga Ward, Laikipia West constituency, Esther Namoi is distraught. She narrowly escaped abduction by 3 armed men. It happened on Friday night while in the company of her 2 children near the Laikipia Nature Conservancy gate.
Alinikuta 18 karibu na gate ya ranch. Nikitaka kufugia kuku. Wakati nilikuwa nataka kufugia kuku kuwaona sasa nikainulia hao mkono nikasema oi msitu.
Her children managed to escape.
Akaniambia hiyo watu wa 18 watu wa area hii kama hamtafunga mdomo mkiona hata kwa line akisimama akiwa kazi yao mnapiga simu kifaru inakuja inatumaliza.
It is however reported that the woman was later released by her abductors after they got wind that a security team was pursuing them.
Kila mtu alikuwa na buduki.
Walikupeleka mpaka wapi?
Sasa hata hakunini wakati sasa kifaru inaanza kuingia, unajua alisikia kiguruma ya kifaru mapema. Sasa wakatoroka.
The attackers are also said to have raided nearby homes, making away with a motorcycle. Tension is said to be high in Bogoine, Mutuwiku, Rubere and Village 18 areas.
Watu wako na uniform. Ile uniform wanafaa. Wakinikuta hapa nitasifikiria ni askari ya lunch. Kumbe si askari ya lunch. Ni watu wameiba hiyo manguo ya watu ya lunch na manguo ya serikali wengine ndio wanafaa.
Local leaders have condemned the attacks.
Mimi nikiwa mama silali masimu jana the whole night baka wa leo. Wa mama ni duru tukuniuliza kiongozi wetu wa maendeleo. Sasa tunaelekea wapi?
Tuko mahali ambapo hapana usalama. Tumekuja hapa kwa sababu jana na siku hiyo ingine na hiyo ingine kuna mambo imetendeka area hii. Ni wapi kuna askari movement ya police?
Security agencies have confirmed the incidents, saying they were pursuing the bandits.
Now to Marsabit County, where peace crusaders in northern Kenya are adopting new strategies aimed at restoring peace among warring communities. In Marsabit County, stakeholders have resorted to educating the youth to change their mindset from the tradition of livestock theft to modern and legal means of livelihood. Channel 1's Adan Ibrahim was at Golbo Boys Secondary School, where construction of a center of excellence in the region is currently underway, and filed the following report.
Perennial conflicts in the larger Marsabit County have greatly affected several development indicators in the area. It is for this reason that stakeholders are calling for a mind shift among pastoral communities through promotion of academic excellence as one of the strategies aimed at stopping the conflicts.
Hapa kwetu nchi ni kubwa, hakuna watu na watu wanapigana kwa ajili ya kukosa elimu.
This besides exploring alternative dispute resolution mechanisms and interventions that benefit younger generations. This gathering at Golbo in Moyale constituency would have ordinarily been deemed to be a conflict resolution meeting. But for 4 days, leaders and professionals brainstormed on different strategies to stem clan conflicts in the region.
One of the main reasons why we want to build this school is to change the thinking of the community. And the only way to change the thinking of the community is to empower them through education.
Education was seen as a key solution to fostering cohesion among the younger population.
The many communities in the county, those who will wish to have decent education, will have an opportunity in this Golbo School of Excellence. Therefore, the communities will intermingle.
This was the groundbreaking ceremony for a center of excellence at Golbo Boys Secondary School in Moyale constituency, where youth from the 18 clans in Marsabit County will mingle as they shape their future.
Hii shule sasa itasaidia kutoa hiyo mambo ya vita kwa bongo ya watoto. Saa hii inabadilika kwa masomo.
Now community, religious and political leaders are calling for a change of tact to ensure future generations are protected by embracing reconciliation and good neighborliness.
Hii shule sio ya gari ama sio ya nana ama ya Konkom peke yake. Hii ni shule ya kila jamii.
Kwa sababu imejengwa hapa, hata principal atoke hapa, hiyo ndiyo huwa inaharibu shule za huku. Tuhakikishe tuwe tunaweka nidhamu, tunaweka administration ambaye itaweza kuendesha shule, sio lazima ikuwe ni kijana anatoka hapa.
The Center of Excellence will benefit youth from the larger northeastern region as part of ongoing efforts to have the younger generation take a leading role in changing the mindsets of their communities that are for long engaged in conflict.
The contribution of this school to the people of Moyale or generally Marsabit County is going to be immense, especially in enhancing cohesion.
Waving the white flag indeed, a story produced by Aden Ibrahim and voiced by Tilio Marco. Some good news from Marsabit County there. Now on to matters COVID-19. Kenya recorded 1,354 new COVID-19 cases on Sunday from a sample size of 5,331 tested in the last 24 hours. The positivity rate has gone down 6% to 25.4%. The total confirmed positive cases now stand at 298,509 out of the over 3 million samples screened in the country so far. 3 people have succumbed to the disease, with the deaths having been reported after conducting facility record audits. The cumulative fatalities now stand at 5,384. So far, over 10 million people have been vaccinated against COVID-19 in the country. According to data from Johns Hopkins University, over 289 million COVID-19 infections have been confirmed globally, with 5.4 million deaths having been reported. All right, away from that, a family in Kiambu is demanding that the government chemist releases the remains of their kin who was mauled by hyenas back in 2017 at Komu village in Thika East. The family says the government took the remains of their kin to a facility for examination to ascertain whether the body belonged to the family. They are now demanding for the remains so that they can finally bury their kin.
Kahuha, the brother to the deceased, armed with documents, said he has been to every government office to seek the remains released for the last 5 years, but his efforts have borne no fruit.
Sijui ni nini inaendelea huko government chemist, hakuna ripoti tunapata. Jaribu kutafuta usaidizi kwa chief, akaniambia hata inipea hiyo permit kwa sababu ile ripoti ya government chemist bado kuja, hata tutabue hiyo mtu au ni wetu au ni mtu wa wenyewe tunataka kuchika.
Kahuha further claiming it is so traumatizing to the family and especially to their ailing mother who lives with his son's bones in her house while the government holds on to his skull.
Mama yangu kutoka hiyo siku alikuliwa na pisi, alisikwa na blood pressure. Sijui ni kwao ni kwa sababu ya hiyo, na hata baba alisikwa na hiyo blood pressure akakufa. Hiyo ni kitu inatupeleka baya sana. Hata mimi nikiingia kwa hiyo nyumba na machozi inaanza kutoka.
Inatuuma sana. Nikienda kwa nyumba kwa shosho siwezi enda mahali pengine, inabidi tu nikae hapo karibu na shosho, sababu nikiingia huko nikiona zile mifupa uchungu inakuwa ni kama hiyo siku ndio yenye anko yangu amekuliwa na fisi.
The family is now calling the county government to intervene and come to their aid so they can bury the remains of their kin.
Usaidizi tupewe barua ya kusika hiyo mifupa kwa sababu inakaa sana kwa nyumba.
Jacqueline Masharia for Sunday Express.
Now, news from across the counties. Police from Laare, Igembe North constituency have recovered 25 motorbikes and arrested 4 people in connection with the theft. According to Igembe North Sub-County Police Commander Mbetien Kantai, his officers managed to recover the motorbikes which were to be taken to neighboring counties and neighboring countries. The 4 suspects are being held at Laare Police Station, waiting to be taken to court on Monday.
Igembe North Sub-County Police Commander Mbatian Kantai said his officers managed to recover suspected stolen motorbikes, noting that most of the suspects were youths, and urged them, especially those purchasing motorbikes through hire purchase and loans, to be faithful to their hiring companies and desist from giving false information to the companies and police officers.
I wish to urge members of public, especially the youth, who are purchasing these motorbikes on hire purchase or through loans, to be faithful to their companies and to themselves, to stop defrauding companies and giving false information to police.
Elsewhere in Meru County, the county government has partnered with the Catholic Church Meru Diocese to rehabilitate street children in different major towns within Meru County. According to Father Barnabas Barrio Mogambi, who is spearheading the program, the rehabilitation of these street children is meant to ensure the children abandon life in the streets and become productive people in the society.
Our main vision is to have a county free from street children by the year 2025, on or before the year 2025. Our mission is to see that these people have been rejected. They are living a good life and a happy life as God called them to live.
Meanwhile, in Mandera, local leaders in the county have raised an alarm of a low uptake of the COVID-19 vaccines among residents. It is reported that only slightly above 2,000 individuals have so far been vaccinated. Deko Mohammed, Mandera Town Chairman of Community Policing, says many residents have refused to take the jab, terming the trend a dangerous one that will lead to mass infections in the region.
Iko watu wengi hawajachukua hiyo jab na wanalala kwa nyumba, na hii kitu ni muhimu sana kwa wananchi halisi. Kwa hivyo naomba wananchi wachukue hii jab ya COVID-19.
Finally, the Institute of Certified Public Accountants in Kenya has revealed that it is going to carry out the social audit of the auditor's report on the total amount of funds each county has received in the last 9 years and its expenditures. According to ESPAC Chairman George Mokua, the intention is to evaluate the funds received and the projects that have implemented at the county level and value for the money allocated.
Be able to summarize all the funds that have been released and collected locally for the last 9 years, and then we're also looking at the qualification paragraphs. This is contained in the report of the Auditor General, and then we are able to quantify and know that so much funds were not properly utilized.
Jacqueline Masharia for Sunday Express.
All right, thank you so much for watching until this far. I'm just appreciating a few people who are interacting with us. Victor Owonda, you're watching from Migori. Lesil Moijoy, you're watching us live from Masai Mara in Kilgoris town. Charles Ogutu from Homa Bay, you are just sharing your message there following the death of somebody you describe as your namesake. That is Charles and Jonjo. You say his sense of fashion and demeanor stood out, and so did his leadership style. Rest in peace, Duke of Kabeta Shire. Thank you, Charles, for watching tonight. We appreciate you all who are taking time. Daniel Kahudu and Weekly for the Ambo also watching. Baba Amar Rashid, Cheru Victor Rono on Facebook there. Thank you for streaming live. We are going to be taking a very short break. Sunday Express is coming back in just a bit. Don't go too far.
The KBC Board of Directors, Management and Staff wishes all our esteemed listeners, viewers and clients Happy New Year and a prosperous 2022. We wish you peace, joy and prosperity throughout the coming year. Thank you for your continued support and partnership.
You said au revoir back? He still has my luggage. How could you say bye to him?
Oh yeah, hey, it's no big deal.
I really pity her, having to have you as mother.
Chue, you shouldn't speak to Miss Chin like that.
You even promised that if someday I could make rice that tasted just like what you could make, you'd do whatever I asked for.
What's going on here?
有一段故事建筑一座城堡，回放进去后就不再打。
A wounded heart.
Why did you have to come back?
See, I'm still in love with you. A brave heart.
I saved your father's company. You're a nobody.
I want a divorce.
An ambitious heart.
The man won't sell his land. Just make him do it. That's what you're here for.
An innocent heart.
He can't force me to sell my land, Father.
My brother will do anything to take your land. Take care of yourself, please. A possessive heart.
Do what you have to do to get it.
Lying heart.
Time now for sports, and we begin straight away. Sports Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Amina Mohamed has hailed the sports men and women for making 2021 an historic year for sports in Kenya. In a release sent on Sunday, Amina stated that despite the COVID-19 pandemic, which affected sports activities in Kenya, the country did not fail to produce masterclass performance. Kenya hosted the World Rally Championships, the first time in 18 years, hosted the European Tour Open Golf Tournament, World Under-20 Athletics, and the Africa Deaflympics Championships. Away from home, Kenya bagged medals in the Tokyo Olympics, where Team Kenya walked away with 10 medals, 4 gold, 4 silver, and 2 bronze medals. And the national beach volleyball team is expected to begin its training this week in preparation for the upcoming inter-county championships to be held in February in Mombasa. This comes after the second leg of the homologated National Beach Volleyball Tour in 2021 series held at Kiati River Beach, Wote in Makueni County in November. Kenya Beach Volleyball chairperson Moses Mbudhia has called upon all interested players to join and assured that Kenya will build a strong team which will represent the country well in international competitions. Mbudhia has also called upon the Ministry of Sports to support the game since it's a way of motivating amateur players. The championship is set to begin in February, attracting many players from different parts of the country. Internationally, in basketball, Stephen Curry broke his own NBA record for consecutive three-pointers as he led the Golden State Warriors to a 123-116 win over Utah Jazz. Elsewhere, DeMar DeRozan scored a game-winning buzzer beater for the second successive night, making him the first player in NBA history to do so as his Chicago Bulls edged out the Washington Wizards 120-119.
Elsewhere, DeMar DeRozan scored a game-winning buzzer beater for the second successive night, making him the first player in NBA history to do so, as his Chicago Bulls edged out the Washington Wizards 120-119.
Offensive rebounds. Bradley's Chicago plays a shell defense where they'll pack it in the middle, okay, and like what you just saw there, you have to...
After receiving the ball with 3.3 seconds left on the clock, DeRozan landed his three-point effort to cap his 28 points. 1-4 Bulls reached 20 points with Zach Lavin leading on 35. Giannis Antetokounmpo made his second triple-double of the season as the Milwaukee Bucks extended their winning streak to 6 games with a 136-113 win over the New Orleans Pelicans.
Roster as well as of late.
You just have to really be fluid in these situations because you just don't know from time to time who's going.
The 5-time All-Star finished with 35 points, 16 rebounds and 10 assists, while James Harden notched his third triple-double in 4 games in the Brooklyn Nets 120-116 defeat by Los Angeles Clippers. The Denver Nuggets cruised to a 124-111 win over the Houston Rockets, but the Detroit Pistons needed overtime to beat San Antonio Spurs as a Dick Bay three-pointer with 1.9 seconds remaining, sealing a 117-116 win to end the Pistons 4-game losing run. Daniel Mwendwa, Sports.
All right, and that is all that we had for you. The sports wraps it up for us. We really appreciate your time. Kevin Otieno here, you are saying rest in peace. Sir Charles Njonjo, rest in peace. Dr. Richard Ricky, what a way to begin the year. You also just sharing your messages concerning, the cremation of Sir Charles Njonjo earlier today. According to the family, of course, from the report we had there by Nancy Okware, that was one of his wishes. He be cremated as soon as almost immediately after he dies. Of course, that is how we wrap it up right here on Sunday Express. Thank you so much for creating time for us and for interacting with us on social media. My name is Serfine Achieng and our sign language interpreter for tonight has been Anne Wangeshi. Enjoy the rest of your night.
In Kenya, agriculture still forms the main economic backbone, especially among the rural households. Its products are critical for both domestic and commercial purposes, contributing to the social, economic development and improvement of livelihoods. One of the places agriculture has realized great impact is Oloitoktok in Kajiado South constituency within the larger Kajiado County. Loosely translated, Oloitoktok in Maasai dialect means a boiling cold water spring. Situated at the foothill of Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest in East Africa, the mountain's unique phenomenon has given Oloitoktok this name. When snow melts, water seeps to the mountain base and flows through underground streams for several kilometers. It then bubbles up in various localities, namely Isinet Water Spring, Kimana Water Spring, and Nol Turesh Water Spring, among others. In fact, the locals here call these springs the mountain breathing holes. And because of Oloitoktok's proximity to the mountain, it attracts good rainfall, which tremendously contributes towards increased farming activities in the region. In the recent years, Oloitoktok has become synonymous with onion farming. Why onion farming? Onions are believed to have originated from Central Asia, particularly Iran and West Pakistan, as early as 5000 BC. Interestingly, in ancient times, onions were worshipped by Egyptians because of the spherical shape and concentric rings. They believed the rings symbolized eternity. There are several species of onions, and they come in various shapes, sizes, and colors. Yellow-brown onion, they are good for making French soup. Red-purple onion, mostly used in making salads for raw preparations and has a mild flavor. White onion has a pungent flavor. Spring or green onion, relatively mild flavor, used as a vegetable. Sweet onion is more perishable. In Oloitoktok, The purple variety does very well and is a preferred crop by the farmers. Onions have high nutritional and medicinal value and are highly recommended for regular intake. For health benefits, they contain calories, carbohydrates, proteins, and vitamins C, A, K, among others. Its medicinal benefits include: it reduces levels of cardiovascular infections, supports bone and connective tissue, acts as an anti-inflammatory, helping prevent oxidation of fatty acids, it lowers the risk of cancer infections, and helps in blood sugar balance. There are several factors contributing to large onion production in Oloitoktok, namely enough water from rainfall and mountain springs, high temperatures of between 25 to 27 degrees Celsius, loose loamy soils, available market in rural and urban areas. Onion seeds are first planted in a seedbed. After 1 month, they are transplanted to the main farm. Water is channeled into the farms and helps nourish the onion plants into maturity within 4 months. Once harvested, onions can be stored for as long as 6 months. Onions are sold in the region's local markets, but large quantities are transported to various places like Nairobi, Emali, Machakos, Voi, Mombasa, among others. The tamaking of Emali Oloitoktok Road tremendously opened up the region, thus boosting the economic activities. Time used to transport farm produce to various destinations has drastically reduced.
Wakati barabara ilikuwa haijawekwa lami, kulikuwa kubaya sana. Kwa sababu tulikuwa tukishaeka mzigo, tuseme tumeitoa shambani, tuko hapa Kimana. Tukianza safari unaanzia asubuhi na unaweza kaa almost 2 days. Sana sana kukinyesha. Hata kuna wakati tulikaa wiki 2. Pahali barabara imekatika, kukawa kwa mto, maji inapita. Tunafurahia sana kuwekwa lami. Ukiekelea mzigo saa hii by 1 hour uko Emali.
Some one-time sleepy towns have sprung into life, while new ones are mushrooming along the busy highway. Some of them include Isinet, Kimana, Ilasit, Rombo, and many others. Onion farming has led to introduction of other farming activities like maize, tomato, sunflower, banana, cabbage, and watermelon, among others.
Ninalima shamba eka 32. Nalima upande Kikelelwa na Lasiki na hapa Ndarara. Udongo wa pande ni fertile kabisa, ni nzuri kwa kukuza mahindi na maharagi kwa sababu udongo bado ina rutuba ya kutosha. Kilimo imenisaidia kwa kulima, kwa kufuga mifugo, ng'ombe, mbuzi. Pia imenisaidia kwa kusomesha watoto.
In the year 2013 alone, farmers in Oloitoktok earned over 125 million shillings after selling their products. This is a significant indicator of how farming is performing in the region. It has immensely uplifted the livelihoods of many residents here as they testify their success stories.
Kilimo hapa Oloitoktok kinachangia sana kwa uchumi wa Oloitoktok, manake chakula nyingi hasa za horticulture, mahindi zinauzwa nje ya wilaya hii. Inaleta pesa na pia inauzwa Tanzania. Mahindi mbichi, cabbages, zingine zinapelekwa Ulaya kama pilipili na okra.
And like any other crop, onions are also affected by pests like onion fly, onion eelworm, and fungi, hence requiring constant treatment with pest controls. In the devolved system of government, agriculture sector is one of the functions that have been taken over by the county government. And for Kajiado County, this once seemingly arid and semi-arid region has a potential in agriculture. If well harnessed and with the right synergy, it might be a major driver to the county's prosperity. This treasure is in the treasure of Oloitoktok.
时建筑一座城堡。
You said au revoir back? He still has my luggage. How could you say bye to him?
Oh yeah, hey, it's no big deal. I really pity her, having to have you as mother.
Chue, you shouldn't speak to Miss Chen like that.
You even promised that if someday I could make rice that tasted just like what you could make, you'd do whatever I asked for.
What's going on here?
用一段故事建筑一座城堡，回忆放进去后就不再打。
Happy New Year, my good people of the 254 and beyond. How are you doing? I would rather take you back to 2021.
Wapikelele wewe. Monday kaze, Tuesday nikatu, Wednesday si jolly, Thursday nangoja Friday. Ooh la 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 la.
Let's get loud. Ain't nobody gotta tell you what you gotta do.
What he do, what he does, good people of the 25.
What's up, family? I am Jane Mamboy Kibera.
My good name is Doreen Arange Okelo.
And no, we've been talking about politics, all right? The whole year. Gojeni to come next year, it will be on another level.
A prosperous 2022 and save the date. January 4th, let us meet here at KBC Channel 1 Good Morning Kenya from 6:30 to 10 a.m.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!
Anaweza kukubali kujidhalilisha mwenyewe hata kavyo.
Usipime kiazi kwa mkono ukasema hakitakushibisha. You're a funny guy. Do you see me laughing?
Baby, tafadhali nakuomba mimi nisaidie.
Una bahati sana. Siku wapata nyote wawili, wewe na Kate kwa kitanda kimoja.
Ili kupata skiza tune hii ya mtu ni watu, bonyeza *811*961#.
Mungu akitaka kukubariki atatumia watu. Maombi yako akitaka kuyajibu atatumia mtu. Hauwezi ukakaa maisha ya kujitenga. Hapana, sababu unahitaji watu. Angalia, toka nje, wacha kukaa peke yako. Toka, kutana na watu. Jumuika na watu, penda watu, furahia watu, zungumza na watu. Baraka.
Ili kupata skiza tune hiyo ya mtu ni watu, bonyeza *811*961#. *811*961#.
The KBC Board of Directors, Management and Staff wishes all our esteemed listeners, viewers and clients Happy New Year and a prosperous 2022. We wish you peace, joy and prosperity throughout the coming year. Thank you for your continued support and partnership.
A wounded heart.
Why did you have to come back?
Lucia, I'm still in love with you. A brave heart.
I saved your father's company. You're a nobody.
I want a divorce.
An ambitious heart. The man won't sell his land.
Just make him do it. That's what you're here for.
An innocent heart.
He can't force me to sell my land, Father.
My brother will do anything to take your land. Take care of yourself, please.
A possessive heart.
Do what you have to do to get it.
Lying heart.
Christmas is a time for family, fun, and entertainment.
The best on television, baby.
This holiday season, KBC Channel 1 brings you exciting shows filled with laughter.
Mila on the wall. Who is the beautiful among them all?
Yes, and that's me.
Love.
Because I love you.
Forever, Ines.
Action.
Of course you lied to me.
Drama. And heartwarming moments. Keep it KBC Channel 1 for wholesome family entertainment.
Hello people. It's early morning na nimefika Nyamira County. Naambiwa ni which constituency?
West Migirango constituency.
West Migirango constituency. Na hii ward, which ward?
Bosamaro ward.
Bosi?
Bosamaro ward.
Bosamaro ward. Na nimetembelea Ruth. Ruth nimemtembelea because anahitaji plastic surgery. Ruth alichomeka sometimes back. Na imekuwa hiyo kuchomeka, amepitia stigma, amepitia mengi mpaka watu kumchukia, kumsideline, kumreject. But see, kama save a life, you know, tunaonyeshana love. We can't reject someone because ya ugonjwa ama accident, and that is why we are here, to show her love and to work with her, because as I keep on saying, akuchomeka because alitaka. It was an accident. Kila mtu anaweza pata accident. We are all candidates to accidents. And that is why we demonstrate that, we teach that, and tunaambia watu, never reject someone because ya ugonjwa ama alipata accident. No. Let's work with Ruth. Ruth, unaweza tuambia. Kwanza ujiintroduce alafu tuambie accident ilianza lini?
Majina nimeitwa Ruth Kisare Kibagendi. So I come from West Migirango constituency, Bosamaro ward, and Njoro sublocation. Nilichomeka 2011. I got a fire accident nikiwa kwa nyumba. Nilikuwa napika, stove ikaribuka. So nilikuwa na mimba, nikatipiwa Russia Hospital Kisumu. Sasa hawakuweza kunifanyia surgery juu nilikuwa na mimba. So kaniambia nikuje nyumbani nipone nijifungue, then ndio nitafute njia ya kufanywa surgery by then. Nikakuja nikazaa mtoto, nikalea mtoto akakufa. Sikupata pesa ya kurudi hata clinic na sikupata